Hello YouTube, I'm just going to do a quick review about a product that I've recently purchased, which is the Focusrite Platinum Twintrak Pro. Very popular mic preamp. I'm just going to do a little talk about the section by sections that you see here. Okay, so as you can see, it's got a mic input and it's got an instrument input. Once you put an instrument in, there's an option to use this high gain button here, there, and that gives you, I think it's about an extra 15 dB of gain, which is pretty good if you've got a passive instrument like a mandolin or just something that needs that extra boost, which I've been using, ukulele or something that's got a low volume passive, maybe a bass. It's got your usual suspect up here, phantom power, there it is, power your mics. It's got this air switch next to that, which gives a bit of a kind of top end boost, yeah. And then you've got this impedance knob, which allows you to kind of dial through different frequencies to supposedly match for your mic that you're plugging in here. The impedance doesn't work with the instrument or the line, it's something that works for the mic section only. It has your selectors here that you can go through. That will show you what section you're using, i.e. are you using the mic, the line, or the instrument, so that's pretty good. Then you've got the Discreet Preamp section, where you've got your gain knob, phase reversal switch, your low cut filter, and then you've got your LEDs to let you know what your signal's like, if you're coming in at the green, yellow, or if you're clipping at the red. You've got mid-scoop EQ section, so you can cut out notchy frequencies. Yeah. Next section is the Optical Compressor, which has got a stereo link button, so you can link channels 1 and 2, left and right, if you're recording something in stereo, whatever that would be, mandolin, ukulele, guitar, hand claps, percussion. Okay, so you got the in button, slow attack, compression, release, hard ratio, hard knee, your makeup gain, and then you've got your nice section, your LEDs there to let you know what's happening with the signal. A little digital section, I think that's if you were to add the digital card. I haven't got that. Then you've got your lovely two analog blue metering sections here. I think they're really accurate from what I've been able to find out and when I've been using them. Down below that you've got your latency free monitoring section, input balance, which you can switch between channels left and right to hear your signal, your headphone mix, headphone to monitors, headphone level, and then you've got your headphone socket and your power button. Hello YouTube, aha, excuse me, hopefully this is in 1080p, should be, that's what the camera says, so hopefully it's relatively clear and you can see everything that you need to. Alright, yeah, I'm just going to do a quick overview about a product that I've bought recently, which is, I think you can see it behind me, hopefully, not in great detail but it is there. It's the Focusrite Twintrak Pro. It's pretty popular stroke common mic preamp that you see eBay, Amazon, Gumtree, etc, etc. I bought it the other day and it's something that I've always thought about getting. I've always seen them and thought, ooh, maybe I'd like to try that, and for one reason or another maybe I didn't quite win an auction or whatever, but I recently got one the other day. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about how I found it, what I think the pros are, any cons, etc, etc. If there's something that I miss by the time this has ended, please, you know, send a message on the video, comment, etc, etc, and I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. Okay, because I'm just doing this just to give other people information really, and if there's people out there that are like me and thought, sitting on the fence a bit, then, you know, listen to what I've got to say, and then obviously you make your own judgment, don't you? But at least you know you're hearing it from someone that has actually got the product. You know, one of the things on the internet that I believe is, you know, if there's a product and there's 100 comments, about that particular product, 40 of the people have never used it, or they're just chatting BS. That's what I think. Then another 20 or so probably don't know how to use the product properly. You know what I mean? So by that time, you may be looking about 40 people that have actually used it. So I think on the internet, take what you hear with a pinch of salt, and I think trust the people that you can see, that you know have actually used something, because they're going to tell you the truth. Okay. Alright, bear with me. I'm using my laptop here, so I've just got a few notes that I've made. So occasionally I'll be looking down here, and then maybe looking at the camera. Okay, the pros, this is all my personal opinion. I like the fact that it's rack mountable. It's in the rack, it's out of trouble, you know, it's just sitting there, it's not going to get damaged. So for me, that's good. Things that I've got on the desktop like that, it's not really my scene. I like the fact that it can be just put in a compartment, screwed in securely, and everything's crisp. Okay. Second thing that I like about it, I think it's got a clean sound. I've been using it with mainly the SE Electronics T2 Titan microphone, and it sounds really good. But again, that's a really quiet mic as well, so in your signal chain, quiet mic makes a difference to how noisy your preamp is going to be, if you get where I'm coming from. But I think the sound is pretty clean, couldn't fault it. Like I said, it's pretty quiet. One thing that I believe and that I've noticed is there are lots of things which can go into determining how loud or how quiet your preamp sounds. Firstly, the room that you're in. You know, if you're in a room that is acoustically treated and as silent as hell, then anything that you bring in there is going to be a lot quieter than if you're using it in a noisy room. You know, if you go to a good studio and they've got traps here, traps there, and it's foam there and foam there, and you step into a booth and you can't hear anything, then that lack of noise running into a preamp is going to be quiet, isn't it? If you're in a room and it's not great and creaky and noisy and this and that signal is going to be coming into your preamp. Also, your microphone has an impact on the mic preamp as well. Like I said, the SE T2 that I've been using is a very quiet mic. Also, you know, the AKG 414 XLS, one of the quietest mics ever. So if you've got a really quiet mic, you know, with a good quality cable going into a half decent mic preamp of some sort, then you're going to kind of lessen the noise level that you've got going into your signal, if that makes any sense. So the preamp is important because it makes its own noise, but then all the other environments, all the other factors, sorry, that are involved in that make a difference to how noisy your preamp could be. You know, namely, like I said, your room makes a difference, your mic makes a difference, cable, maybe. I mean, your cable isn't going to be the be all and end all, but maybe 1%, 0.5%, and you know, I suppose at the top level they'll probably go for the top quality cables, because it's all about these percentages that add up. You know, 10% your room, 1% your cable, 15% your preamp. By the time you've done that, you're recording 16% better than somebody else's. You know, so it makes a difference. But yeah, subjectively, it's pretty quiet, so that's pretty cool. I like the fact that it's got LEDs that light up, and they let you know which input you're using, so you can visually see, the mic's enabled, there's a red LED, the line's enabled, there's a red LED, or it's instrument. So it's pretty cool. So it's hard for you to think, oh, what am I plugged into, what's being used now, which channel, because it's visually lit up for you. So that's really cool. There's an air switch on there, which is on a couple of the Focusrite things. They've got it on the Claret now. I think they've got it on another one of their mic preamps or audio interfaces, this air switch. It adds some sort of top end boost, okay? On vocals, I heard a slight difference when I used it. It was nothing drastic. You're not going to press it and feel like, you know, you're boosting a Knight Rider car or something, but it's good on cymbals. And it might be good on maybe, excuse me, strings, or maybe some vocalists where you want a bit more top end, a bit more brightness. But yeah, it's subtle. It's not something that you press and it's going to be like, wow, like most of these things, it's a subtle little change, but you can hear a difference. It's got 60 to 70 decibels of gain, which is enough for most sources that most people are going to record. So it's got a it's pretty punchy. I haven't used the mid-scoop EQ section, so I can't comment on that, how good it is, how bad it is. I haven't had the need to use that. It's got a built-in compressor, and I think the compressor in itself is not bad. It's not bad. It does an adequate job of kind of squashing the signal. One thing that I did do in my test is I pushed everything to the hardest limit. I pushed it to a hard ratio, a high threshold, and when I did that, it sounded pretty awful. It sounded really squashed, almost unusable. But maybe there's someone out there that would want it to sound like that. I can't imagine who or why. But like I said, when you push everything to the max on it, it sounds crazy. But most people aren't going to do that. You're going to use a bit for vocals or a guitar or drums or whatever. But like I said, when it's pushed to the limit, everything hard, everything high threshold, it just sounds mad. I like the fact that the compressor's got LEDs that show you your gain reduction, how much is being squashed, how much signal's being shaved down, so that's pretty cool. I like the fact that it's got headphone monitoring. If I'm in a rush and I want to test something quickly, rather than maybe turning on my sound card, loading up my whole computer, it's good to just, you know, like I test my mandolin, quickly just plug it into the Focusrite, plug my earphones in, bam, I can hear it instantly, rather than waiting for the computer to load and brr, brr, brr. If I just want an instant headphone monitoring, it's cool. But also, I like it if I am recording into my sound card, which is the Sapphire Pro 40. I like to just to hear what it sounds like through that and just maybe test, see if there's any difference. You know, I can plug an instrument into there, the Focusrite, the Twintrak Pro, have a listen, okay, sounds like so. Plug it into the Sapphire Pro 40, just see if it sounds the same, see what the difference is between those two things. But I like the fact that you got that your individual headphone monitoring. It's got a stereo link button, so you can link, surprise surprise, both channels for stereo recording. So if you wanted to record acoustic guitar, mandolin, violin, cello, anything in stereo basically, you can link the channels and kind of get them together to get a kind of complete stereo recording. I think that one channel becomes the master and then it controls what the other one does. So that's pretty cool. And then you've got your bog standard things, balanced outputs, you got your inserts and a digital card capability. I think the digital card is the same one that they use in the ISA mic preamp, so that's pretty modern. So maybe that card's not too bad. I mean, it costs 140 quid, 150 quid new, so let's hope it does a good job. I haven't got the digital card. I haven't got any need to use a digital card. I just come out using your old-fashioned analog patch leads into my sound card, and that's that. I haven't really got any need to go digital. It feels sturdy also. You know, the chassis of it, I imagine it's aluminium and maybe some aluminium, maybe a bit of steel somewhere, but it feels pretty solid. That's not gonna get bashed anytime soon. I think when it came out, it's probably equivalent to about £500 to £600 in today's money. So if you look at things that are around about now for £500 to £600, that's what this was back in the day when it came out. So, you know, it gives you an idea as to maybe the ballpark of what went into it, how good it may be. You know, so things like Warm Audio, Grace, you got the ISA, which is probably less than £500 now. So when this came out, it was pretty dear, pretty dear. All right, the cons. There aren't many that I found. I'm just nitpicking here, to be honest. And the only thing I can say is maybe the silver fascia and the colour scheme isn't to everyone's taste in this day and age. It came out in 2004, I think. So it's over 10 years old. Maybe that's not the most modern looking thing you're ever going to see. Maybe some people like it. I don't particularly mind it. Another con, like I said, maybe the compressor. When it's pushed, I can't say I've ever heard a compressor sound so crazy before, standalone one or built-in. But that was when I pushed it to everything was crazy at the highest level, highest threshold, highest ratio. So, like I said, I can't imagine most people using it like that. If you do, let me know what you're doing that with and how it sounds. But yeah, it doesn't sound good, in my opinion. Apart from that, I can't really critique it too much. There's nothing I can say that's really bad. Like I said, it's clean. It's got lots of functions on there. It's got lots of LEDs to let you know how loud your signal is, how quiet it is. It's got a compressor so you can put a bit of compression on while you're tracking whatever it is you're putting through there. You've got your LEDs to show you what department of it you're using, whether it be the mic, whether it be the line, whether it be instrument. If you've got a quiet instrument, you've got this high gain switch specific for that, which gives you more boost and more power, which is really good. I think that's good on passive instruments, definitely. Like I said, you got your balanced outputs. I can't knock it. I cannot knock it. Like I said, I know I've seen some reviews, like any product, where someone will say, "Oh, the worst piece of crap ever. Using it as a doorstop, putting it in the bin," or some BS like that. I'm thinking, yeah, right. Some people just write a load of crap on the internet, like I said, for whatever their reasons are, to make it seem like they've got a product because they're in it with somebody else or whatever. But if you've got a good one of these, then I don't see why you can't get professional results. I don't see any reason why you can't, unless you don't know what you're doing. That's the only thing, maybe, or you're not sure. But it's relatively straightforward. Yeah, like I said, I would definitely recommend it. If you see one out there and you're thinking of taking the punt, I think it's worth it. Definitely. Yeah, so that's my opinion. Thumbs up for the Focusrite Twintrak Pro. Yeah, like I said, if there's anything that I've missed or you got any questions that you are dying to ask, then hit me with them. Yeah, I'll do my best to try and answer them, get back to you in good time. Like, subscribe, do all the things that other people say on the YouTube videos. Yeah, alright, cool. Thank you very much, YouTube. Goodbye. Bye-bye.